can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on, smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold. Jump in the stands, no man, man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought they could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take all poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Time to set the old turducken aside and get ready for football as here we go on a Thanksgiving night. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Ready? Set with the mic, boy, 47. Check, 47. Come for you. Anyway.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Ready? Hey, tighten down. There you go. Slam. Get the six. Pull it. Now. Check. Lucky. Zoom.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking downfield, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
But we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a first carry here for Robinson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally marked down at the 23. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Foles. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he is all the way up past the 25. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. Looking to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Watch the slant. Check nickel. Kill. Go. Check 50.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got him in. Complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Buddy up. The mic. 47's the mic. Hey, watch the slant. 47 Mike. Mike 47. Let's go. Mike's 47. Mike's head here. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it.
2nd and 14. Escaping the pressure right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Check, check, 47.
He'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there. 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points.
It got his man, complete. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
51.
2nd and 1. That's complete to Smith. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and 10.
Ready. Mike 51. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry. Order. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Hop on. He's not going to get me. Check 37. Check 37. Ready, go.
Now back to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
16-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Man open. It's Goodwin. Touchdown, New Orleans. Marquise Goodwin, 84 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. I love watching Goodwin play. Of course, everybody knows the story of him being an Olympian. He's a long jumper, right?
Yes.
But you know that he has that athleticism, that big play ability.
He certainly does. And not only was he an Olympian as a long jumper, married to a sprinter. How about that for speed in one family? And I love his end zone celebrations now. When he does go deep and beat someone for a touchdown, now he does the long jump as his celebration. Pretty cool deal.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On play action, they'll throw. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
First down.
Come on, 180. Hey, sound one.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
He's got this one complete to Perriman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. We need it. We own it.
Now Foles. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
You better bring. I'm letting you know right now. You better.
From the shotgun, they run with Smith. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football. 17-0 our score after 1. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
Back to throw. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Foles. Flushed out right. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lamb. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 43.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Foles now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down.
At the 39-yard line.
I got you. I got you.
Second and 5. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Under. 45. Mike, 45. Move. 45. Mike, 45. Big stop, G.
Back to throw here. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
No, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Saints 24. Falcons nothing.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Go! 25-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Now Kamara. Kamara has it stripped, and the Falcons grab it. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
2nd and 4. They shakes him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A first throw for the backup, Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. Turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it.
And he loses the football a second time. And the Falcons grab it. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And they're able to up the lead by one more.
Makes the score Saints 31, Falcons nothing.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
The Falcons take over.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
Honey, I dash, got it on.